Alright, what's up everyone? It's Gabriel!
Yeah!
If you don't know him, go check out my Magic channel. He used to be there until you started playing Flesh and Blood.
I will still come back once in a while
You haven't been
when I
back
bring up my
for
old deck.
almost a year.
Less than a year, but
Anyway, you just won the first weekend of Post-Viserai meta.
RTN, my first
RTN.
win. I'm so proud.
Yes.
I am
Road
so
to,
proud.
so you're qualified for Nets. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
On a list that is not yours.
Yes, shout out to Jasin Long. Is I'm pronouncing your name correctly? Wonderful list. Very silky, smooth to play, like peanut butter. Call it sleepy peanut butter.
Yes, it is Jason Long's list from third place, Christchurch, I believe. And big shout
That's
out
right.
to Arsenal Pass as well. They did a deck tech interview featuring Jason.
Oh,
Did
very helpful.
Oh, you
Watch
watched
it.
it? Okay, fantastic.
Yes, I watched
So,
it. It's really good.
all right. So post Viserai, I think that's the main point, right? Why did you choose this Arakni list?
The base Arakni list is very disruptive on its own already.
Mm,
Um, and multiple different types of on hit to combat multiple types of decks from across the board. So it was a very good to go into this meta because it apparently became very diverse. So in my particular top eight, we have eight different heroes.
wow.
Yes.
Okay. Well, before we get into the RTN itself, tell me about your prep. How did you prep for this RTN?
So initially, I was playing a lot of Fang. Oh, I'm a warrior main. Secondary main will be assassin. So I love
Sure.
warrior. So I played 70 games of Fang prepping for RTN, and my win rate on Fang was 33%. I tried many different builds, and I just couldn't get it across the line.
Okay.
So, so my backup was assassin, and seeing that Arakni Sleepy had a very good play style. It mixes very well with aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
So your first stealth, second stealth, followed by potentially tricky attack reactions. For example, your bonds, or for example, backstab. We will get into it
Mm.
later. The deck was very similar to Warrior, just one left, one right, and then you pass.
I was gonna say that. Like
One left,
you
one
say,
right, attack reaction, and
yeah.
pass. So yeah,
Just
I'm very comfortable with it.
okay, okay. So, you played 70 games of Fang. What about Arachne?
Ragni, I would say about 30 odd games.
Okay.
So in total, I would say more than 100 games offline, online, in preparing for my one and only RTN.
Yeah, I just want to say that you played the last RTN of the
Yes, that's
season.
right. And I
you
slipped
had
in.
you had
Yeah,
one chance. You had one chance to qualify.
yes,
Yeah, okay. Congrats, congrats. So
thank you, thank you.
let's get into the RTN then. What were your matchups, your Swiss rounds? How did they go?
So first, I won my first three games. So that
Okay.
there was a five round RTN. So I won my first three games and I got locked in. Thank God for that. The first one I played against Syndra. Second one I played against Zen, and the third one I played against Kano. So
Oh,
I'll go through it quickly for the aggressive matchups.
sure.
I generally think Arani goes in very well into the aggressive matchups because you have your uh, Art of Desire body to disrupt them and draw a card. And it's quite
Mm,
easy because they play melee raids, especially for Syndra. And then you just outvalue them very easily because they don't really block.
mm,
And you play, you have disruptive cards, like, for example, Infiltrate. It's very good against them because you can take their Gorgon cards, yeah, Mark of the Black Widow, Bonds of Agony. You just disrupt them, leave them with 2, 3 card hands, or even 1 card hand sometimes, and they can't play the game.
yep.
So that was quite a fast game. Similar for Zen, I just side in blue disruptive out of Desire Mine.
Right.
Uh, So similar playstyle against Syndra.
What do you take out?
Uh, what did I take out for? All right. Do you want me to go through the list?
I mean,
in
just
a little bit.
roughly lah. Like Syndra, how do you
So
board? Yeah.
so Syndra would be generally I will not change much on the main board,
So
but
62 main board.
for 62 main board.
Okay.
Um, for the against Zen, I would probably take out maybe infiltrate
Hmm.
because and I'll start in Art of Desire Mind. You generally want quite a bit of stealth, and then against aggressive decks, I'll play Black Tech Whispers to get the additional life.
Right. Okay. Because it's one
Yeah,
one block basically.
yeah. And opportunity to buy back sometimes, but it doesn't really happen.
Okay. So basically, you played this equipment suite into Syndra and Zen.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So Kano.
Against Kano, this was quite tricky. So I respected the Kano meta quite a bit, and I kept
Yeah, I
with
see that.
the 3 AV.
Yes.
So
AB3
against the Kano,
SV3.
yes, was really helpful towards the end. So I played very conservatively, throwing. So I usually 4 card hands against a Kano. I will always try and keep a blue,
Hmm.
and then just swing with 2 stealth cards. So if I see he block out, then I'll play the reaction on the second attack
Hmm.
because I
Okay.
know he will not combo off or do anything, and I have opportunity to draw up later. So that was a very tricky game to balance.
Was it
I think
close? How were the games in general? Yeah.
uh
These three games.
Syndra, the life difference was like I was 12,
Okay.
Syndra was 3,
Okay.
then 17-2.
Oh my gosh.
Kano was towards the end was 26-6.
Wow. Okay. And then I guess he had
So
to go for it.
yes, so I think during that time the Kano player respected my attacks quite highly.
Hmm.
So sometimes he made 2 card blocks. So when he 2 cards blocks, I try and push damage on the second attack.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, so on the last turn I think I got a bit lucky. I had a 4 red hand. And I had the 4 red hand, if I recall correctly, was 2 pick up the points,
Mm-hmm.
1 out of desire body,
Mm-hmm.
and 1 infect.
Okay.
So the I played up my 2 pick up the points, go again. My opponent blocked twice. So
Oh.
when he blocked both, I know I can continue attacking for my all entire red hand.
Yeah.
So at that point in time, my opponent didn't have any blues. I was talking to my opponent, he didn't have any blues in his hand.
Ah, I
So
see.
he couldn't do much.
So
Although he had
both
1
of
e-pot on
both,
the
both of you had all red hands.
yeah, so towards the end he could Ether Wildfire for 5.
Hmm.
But I cracked everything. I pitched
Hmm.
and cracked everything.
Hmm.
So yeah, towards the end, that's how I got over the line.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Respect Kano. Okay.
Yes.
So I guess it was what, 5 rounds into top 8?
5 rounds. 5 rounds. Yeah.
Okay. So 3-0 is
So
locked.
by then I was locked in.
Nice.
So I think this is a good segue to jump into the deck list proper.
Sure.
Um, before I get into my first loss against Florian, um, I think the 5 biggest players of the deck would be Art of Desire Body,
Mm-hmm.
Backstab, Infect, Kiss of Death,
Mm-hmm. That's
and
5. Right. No, that's 4.
Infiltrate.
Okay.
The 5 red stealth. And the best combo by far is I don't think the best combo is like Kiss of Death, Spike with Blood Rod, or Toxicity and Kiss of Death. I think the best combo in this deck is Backstab into Command and Conquer.
Wow. Wait,
Because
backstab even without pumps, right? It's still
without
good.
pumps, because um, a lot of players respect Assassin's attack reactions a lot.
Hmm.
So they have direct. So now moving into my Florian game,
Hmm.
there were multiple turns where I 1 or 2 turns where I played a backstab and CNC. He couldn't block at all.
Hmm.
So because his entire hand was D-Rex. So I could
Carapace,
link in
yeah.
damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
So so on the second turn, I forgot that his entire hand was D-Rex. I played
No!
Bonds of Agony, 14 damage, and all his D-Rex came out, and I'm like, oh yeah, you had D-Rex in your hand.
Is
So
that how
I'm
you
like,
lost?
oh no, yes, that's how I lost. And oh, but I lost not because of D-Rex. I lost because I played Schism of Chaos.
Oh no.
I pitched it to my dagger. At that point in time, I had Schism of Chaos and 4 stealth attacks.
Hmm.
When I Schism, the top deck was another stealth attack,
Oh
wasn't a reaction.
man. So it was a
And
brick.
towards the end, so towards the end, the opponent's top deck from Schism was a Millennium Tree.
Oh man.
So so that but it didn't make a difference because their playstyle against Assassin was to OTK me with like 27 damage. So like ninth blade for 9 and then like 15 or 18 rune
Rune
chance to
chance.
finish off. Yeah. So
Nice.
that was game 4, Florian. I think the life difference was like 11-6. I was 11, he was 6.
Oh wow. When he just OTK you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
The last game against Enigma,
Oh.
it was pretty okay. I was 22 and opponent was at 2.
Yeah. I think this matchup into Enigma is actually quite good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pick up the point, very strong.
Mm.
And Flick Knives
Mm.
goes very well into a big dragon
Yeah. Flick knives
or
is so annoying.
whatever ward they have. So yeah, it's a deck. Again, the deck does many things well enough when you draw it well. But most of the time you can defend with 2 cards, swing with 2 cards.
Yeah, I wanted to
Yeah.
ask you how does the deck play? What's the general
So
play
okay,
pattern?
I think I took quite the biggest tidbit I got out from okay, 2 biggest tidbit I got out from the video by Arsenal Pass.
Mm.
Again, shout out to them. Was the backstep and command and conquer combo,
Mm.
and the second one was the if I have 2 if I can of 4 cards, usually it's 2 attacks and 2 reactions. So if you have to block with the reactions, and then just send 2 stealth attacks.
Right.
That the usual combo. So just 1 left, 1 right again, like a warrior.
So how often are you sending the daggers?
Hardly. I usually try and mark them when. So okay, so that's a good question. How I use the daggers is usually by throwing them. So the mask, this is where I differ from Jasin a little bit. Jason or Jasin, right?
Jason, yeah.
Jason a little bit is that I recall correctly, I might be wrong this. In the video, he says that it's mainly a 2 block
Mm-hmm.
with CP 2 health. But I usually try and set up, if I can, against aggressive heroes or especially against aggressive heroes. If they fully block my last attack, I'll throw the knife to mark them. So they will stay marked.
Okay.
So when they are marked, when they swing it back at me, I block the mask to transform into Black Widow.
I see.
So I can choose, I have control of how I want to swing back at them. And so when they swing at me, I will just take it and swing back harder.
Right.
So
Okay.
against defensive decks, which I cannot punch through the first attack to activate Black Tech Whisperers, I'll bring along Snapdragons. So I can go again with the attack.
Okay, okay. So against those decks that like Florian, you brought in Snapdragons, I assume.
That's right.
Okay. And when do you decide to use it? Like, what is a good pivot turn?
It really depends. For example, one of the few would be the mass transformation turn.
Mm-hmm.
A second one is if I have a stealth attack into a Leave No Witnesses and I have a Codex in hand, I might snap
Okay, okay.
into a Codex so to have 1 more attack. but it's a bit hard to evaluate unless you're playing the game and what's
Mm,
left in your deck or what's in the graveyard.
fair enough.
So, yeah, it's a bit hard to evaluate at this point.
So, talk to me about the what you brought in for Florian.
Against Florian, I think I shouldn't have brought in Schism of Chaos.
I mean, it's in the main
But
board, so you probably should have taken it out, I guess.
yeah, I probably have taken it out. I brought in Art of Desire over Art of Desire Mine.
Mm,
I put Art of Desire Mine in, and I took out Infiltrate.
right, makes sense.
Yeah. Or if not Infiltrate, it probably could be Mark of the Black Widow because it's very hard to hit them.
Right. Okay.
Because yeah, even if I hit them with Infiltrate, most of the time there's a high chance I get a react.
Mm, yeah. I was actually thinking like you want to flick the knife when you have either Mark of the Black Widow or take up the mantle in hand, just to mark them. Does that come up? Did that come up at all?
That I didn't see that line too much where I have take up the mantle. Most of the time, take up the mantle. Maybe I didn't have opportunity
Mm,
is to use it as a pump, a generic pump when
right.
I want to. So for example, with backstab, I'll just pump it and send damage when possible.
So it's just a +2.
Most of maybe like 60% of the time.
Okay. Okay, interesting. So 4-1. You must have been
Or what?
top seed.
Uh no, I drew the last game against Anima. I ran the time.
Oh, oh, what?
It
What
was at
happened?
2. It just went to time. I didn't have much to say on that. I don't have much to say on that.
Okay.
I think he was just his game plan when he was at less than 10 life was just to try to fatigue me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So I
It
guess
was
both
a, it
of
was a
you.
good it was a legitimate game plan. So I gave it to him.
Okay, okay. So I guess he was top seed then.
Uh
You must have been
he my
second.
opponent
Yeah.
my opponent was for him he had to win to get into top 8.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So so you gave it to him.
No, he didn't. We didn't. No, it was a draw.
Oh.
It was a draw. That's all. That was a draw. That's all.
Okay, let's move past that. So top eight then.
Top 8. Okay, my first top 8 game was against Ira. Surprisingly, I did not play against. There was one noob in the entire 32 men.
Oh yeah, we should talk about the meta. Okay, so it's the 32 hero breakdown. There were two of you, sleepy boys. 3 Auroras, 2 Azaleas, 2 Syndras, 1 Dorinthia, 3 Enigmas, 2 Fangs, 2 Florians, 1 Ira, 1 Yao, 2 Kanos, 1 Kasai, 1 Nu, 1 Prism, 4 Victors, 2 Vincent, and 2 Zens. So, crazy. That's
It was very diverse.
so
The
many.
matchup I was most afraid of was actually Nu and Vincent.
Oh, not Victor? Like, even?
I'm surprisingly I've not played much against Victor. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, it could be troublesome. Definitely troublesome. You're right. You're right.
Okay, so top 8. Here we go. 1 Aurora, 1 Azalea, 1 Ira, 1 Yu, Arakni, 1 Florian, 1 Enigma, 1 Victor, 1 Kasai.
Very
So,
diverse again.
yeah, I mean, I would say the bad ones for you are probably what, Florian and Victor? Or maybe
Yes,
Kasai?
that
I
was
don't
the
know.
Florian that I lost to.
Oh, okay, okay. Makes sense. So, you paired into Ira.
Ira. Ira. So and Ira, I went second.
Mm-hmm.
So Ira a little bit more mid range, but I played it similar to how I played against Syndra.
Okay.
So I transform, if I recall correctly, on turn 2 or 3. So I attacked, I marked, he came back to me, I transformed. While he was marked, I played Mark of the Black Widow,
Oof.
and then I transformed the Black Widow and I played Mark of the Black Widow, and then I went Paul. He had to banish 2 cards, and from there he couldn't get back the tempo. So it was just left, right, left, right, left, right. Off attacks, I mean. So that
Ouch.
was pretty fast. That was a pretty fast game. Although I took quite a bit of damage, it ended 9-1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, not really close.
So top 4 was against Enigma, a different player.
Okay.
This was a good interaction. So one interaction that I wanted to point out was that I was a turn that my opponent knew I would go wide. So what I did was I first attacked with my knife, Huntsman, and then the opponent blocked with the Quicksilver,
Quick dodge.
Quick Dodge Flexors, right?
Yes.
Quick Dodge Flexors, and I played Tarantula Toxin.
Nice.
So Tarantula Toxin says choose one or both. Target dagger gets +3 attack, and target cards defending the attack with stealth
Gets
gets
-3.
+3 distance. Sorry, I was attacking with Celestera.
Right, graphene. That makes more sense. Yeah.
Yes. So
Oof, that's a
that
blowout.
so when he blocks with that, I -3, and I send my second attack. He wanted. I sent a second attack, if I'm not wrong, was Leave No Weaknesses. He wanted to bring the shoes over, but the shoes was 0.
Yeah. It carries over.
Because it says this turn. So
Yeah.
he totally wasted his shoes.
Yeah. Oh
So
man.
we all learned something new that day. I mean, for my
Oh, you didn't know that?
I didn't know it affected the shoes that way when he brought it across. I thought it would just minus it for that turn.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
it
it
was a
works.
blowout point.
It's the same. It's the same as shred.
As
Maybe.
Shred.
Yeah.
Same as Shred.
Yeah. Same as shred.
Yeah.
Shred. I mean, shred actually, if you break the chain, then it doesn't work lah.
Of course, it's
Yeah.
only combat chain, not this
Yeah.
turn. So and I managed to fight through 3 mirror guys.
Small ones or
Yeah.
big ones?
I think there were 2 4 +1/+1 counters and 1
Ooh.
+1/+1 counters.
Okay.
So how I removed it was throwing knives. That
Mm.
was the best way to throw it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
And and my opponent on turn 2 or one of the I can't remember which turn, but one of the turns he had set up quite a few wards. And when I played Pick to Pieces, he didn't have D-Reacts. He was telling me he didn't have D-Reacts. But when I played again, Backstab into CNC, he had D-Reacts.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Wow, you just lined up well, man.
Yeah, I got a bit lucky there, to be honest.
I mean, it's part of the game lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the variance.
Yeah, that's the variance.
So
Okay.
so by then on the top, when I was playing top 8, I removed Schism because I got bitten a bit too hard.
Okay.
On the Schism. So I took it out. So I mainly put in Inertia Trap for that.
Okay.
Yeah, and I respected my Enigma players for both Enigma decks.
Yep.
I put in Poison the Well.
Wow.
Yeah.
You didn't even know whether they want CRB, you just put it in.
Yeah, I just put it in.
Okay.
Yeah. Even in worst case scenario, I still can swing my knife at it.
Yeah. Okay. So top finals then.
Finals, I played against Azalea.
Oof.
Apparently in my opinion, I think it's about 55-45 favored Arakni.
I mean, you have disruption. You have 6 copies of Arsenal disruption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My opponent feels it's way in the favor of Arakni.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it looks like it.
Yeah, there was one point in time where my life was 40, opponent's life was 20. Because I gained quite a bit of life from the prognosis.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but towards the end, he brought my life down. When he was 20, he brought my life down to like 29. I brought it down to 14. He brought me down to 16. So he in 2 or 3 turns, he swung like 30, 35 damage. So it was quite a big attacks, but I just took it knowing that I could outrace.
I guess also if you don't have the disruption, they can just keep their hand lah. But once you start taking cards from their hand, it's quite difficult for them.
Yeah. So when I took out cards from hand, it's unfortunate that my opponent bricked maybe 1 or 2 times as well. So I honestly I think I got a bit lucky as well.
I mean, that's how it is.
Yeah, but so some general thoughts on the deck is that again multiple disruptions, multiple ways to attack
Mm,
into a diverse meta, easily toolboxable with your sideboard. Even the main deck is quite toolboxable. You have multiple combos, toxicity, kiss of death, um, bonds
yeah.
of agony,
Did that
codex to leave no witnesses.
did the Kiss of Death toxicity come up at all for like Enigma? Because this
Not
is
against Enigma, it's not too much.
oh
Against Enigma, I prioritize like infect and blood rot generation more because they don't lose life from blood rot. Blood rot does damage, so it triggers the ward prevention.
right.
Yeah. The Kiss of Death on multiple times between my two Enigma matches, they easily made um use Enigma's hero ability to make a spectral shield. So that essentially nullifies the flick knife. So
I
my
see. I see.
opponents were very aware of flick knife. I mean, they've
Mm.
been practicing on this, especially against Indra, knowing how to block it up properly. So yeah,
But they still need to have the chi in hand lah, to prevent that.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
If not, they'll just make a ward, something like that.
Okay, so after all that, any other thoughts on the list or what changes you would make?
At this point, I think the list is really, really tight
Hmm.
already. Maybe I might possibly want to try one Hunter's Clave and then maybe
Scale peeler
mm,
or something.
something like that.
Right.
Traditional assassin weapon instead
Hmm.
of a hunted assassin weapon.
Yeah. I think there are some lists going around like with scale peeler and the other one orbital class.
Yes, Obito class
Yeah.
one looks pretty good, but it's very tight unless you take out the AB, the
Hmm.
Widow Veil and Widow Web. I
Hmm.
saw some lists playing Pain in the Backside. I personally feel that it, it's not as effective if you can't get the hit across. I think pick up the point on multiple games and on multiple turns. I was easily able to bring back my daggers to throw again.
Oh.
It's been amazing.
Oh
Pick up the
wow.
point has been amazing because the only time when I use Tunic, only 2 times that I use Tunic is either spike with Blood Rod,
Mm-hmm.
pick up the point. So I always had the resource available to do something.
Huh. I mean, I would think sometimes you use it for CNC as well. Like,
Uh, Out of my games, I only recall doing it once,
okay.
but yeah, it's very rare.
Yeah.
It's very
Because,
rare.
I mean, you only have, what, 7 blues, 12 yellows, which is 19 pitch cards. So, I guess it's fine.
Yeah, and even also against like highly defensive decks, I might even take out toxicity because I will never hit anything with toxicity. They are easily able to block it out.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is where like the Kiss of Death toxicity combo comes in, right? Where you load it, stack it onto the Kiss of Death and flick it.
That's the
Yeah.
best case scenario.
Yeah.
I find it's a bit hard. So unless you Arsenal Kiss of Death and wait,
Mm.
I rather play out the Kiss of Death and throw it with the knife.
Just go aggro lah.
Yeah, I think aggro is the way to go.
Okay. I mean, you are right because you won.
uh, I wish I could be more right and get that place at a calling, but I would defer my professional opinion to Jason.
Okay, okay. I mean, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We covered all the matchups. We covered everything. I guess one question is, do you always choose to go second?
It depends. So against Azalea, against Guardian, against so against Ranger, Guardian, Illusionist, and Brute, I would probably go first.
Brood. What? Like Rhina?
Yeah,
Like,
I in my mind is to get as much value on turn 1 as possible. So, for example, in my finals on turn 0, so I started first because I was the higher seed.
Yeah.
I played Persuasive Prognosis. My opponent blocked with 5, and I was able to throw out just a nick to hit 1. So I banish 3 action cards, and I get 3 life.
Wow, that is
So,
sick.
so those are the types of small interactions that I think you need to get the value of decks that can hit you very hard. Because if
Azalea makes sense because you don't want them to go first, I feel.
yeah. So for example, if it's against a Guardian and they turn 1 dominate you, you instantly lose value because you're already starting at 38 life. So if any opportunity to strip cards to get damage through to get parity in life, I think it's very important.
Okay. Cool. I think that's all my queries. What was the goal
It's a fun
foil?
deck.
Yeah. You got the goal foil?
Yeah. It was a
Cross strap.
what's cross strap? Hearten cross strap. Yes.
Hearten cross strap. Okay.
Yes, Hearten cross strap.
Good for you.
Yes. And a good friend of ours wanted it.
Right. I see. Good job. Okay, man. That's all. That was a good half an hour discussion. Congrats again. See you at Nets.
Thank you.
And yeah, anyone wants to go follow Gabriel? Well, I don't know.
You can see me around in Singapore. I'm not much on socials, so apologies for that.
Yep. Alright then, till the next video. Bye bye.
Take care. Bye.